Welcome back to RLCS Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. What Wave Punk's here? Yeah, I'm here. They always bring me in to do the interview stuff, and we've got a nice interview on the line here. Someone I met just this past weekend at Dreamhack Atlanta. Was lots of fun. Dude with the nose. My friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to talk to us here. Now, for the people who are, I know who you are, and the people who are like in the hardcore Rocket League community know who you are, but for a lot of fans, they had never heard of you before this past weekend. So can you introduce yourself to us a bit here and then talk to us about how you got into Rocket League?
Yeah, so my name is DudeWithTheNose. I bought the game at like a week after it came out, so I was around real early, but I mainly just played ranked. I wasn't on a team for a very long time. Like RLCS 2 was my first serious team. I was on wildcard with Laz and Skies at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up going out to Deception in the qualifier match, so I mean that was a pretty good experience. But no, just this last Dreamhack Atlanta, that was my first big shot on stage. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about that for sure in a bit here. I have to ask, Dude with the Nose, the name, like where did this come from? Give me this story.
I've had this name since like 2008. I must have been like 12 at the time, so I'm pretty young. Honestly, I don't know. Whatever a 12-year-old comes up with, it has no sense to it. There's no reason for it, but I just stuck with it over the years, and people know me by that now.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the stories are always crazy, and sometimes it does boil down to just, hey, it was what I picked when I was
Yeah.
when I was 12 years old. That's pretty cool. So talk to me. Let's talk about Dreamhack, because this was a huge experience for you guys playing under the Renegades name, but you're not the primary Renegades roster. I believe this was kind of a one-time deal with Renegades, correct?
Yeah, this was just for Dreamhack Atlanta.
Yeah, and so how did you get connected with the players you were playing with here at Dreamhack?
So before Renegades, I was on a team Oceania with Moses, Darkfire, and Hot Wheel Sid, and I was the sub for that team. So I had to fill in for a couple tournaments here and there. We worked pretty well. So when Renegades, when Moses had to pick two teammates to go to Dreamhack with, he decided me and Sid. So it was just the team he had a bit of experience with.
Cool, yeah, and Moses is a player that we've seen in RLCS a number of times, missed out on Season 3 here, but has been playing with you guys and having some success here at Dreamhack. Were you nervous? Because this was your first time. This was your first time on a big stage, right?
Yeah, going up on the stage, I was so nervous. So I had to do like some deep breathing stuff. I don't know, but getting up on stage, looking at the crowd, it was incredible.
How did you feel like other people approached you as someone who was known in the community as a player and as maybe a sub, but not necessarily as a top-level player? How did you feel like you were treated at Dreamhack by the fans and stuff?
Like after I introduced myself, people didn't know my face, but when I said, "Hey, I'm Dude with the Nose," they were like, "Oh my God, it's you!" It's a very welcoming community, and it was great meeting everyone. After the Flipside game, when a lot of people were watching, since I was on the stage, people were just giving me compliments here and there. It was unbelievable. They're so nice. Yeah,
for sure. And for anyone who wasn't watching, you guys in the first group you beat Rogue, and then I believe you guys also beat Genesis, and you took Flipside to 5 games on the stage, and it was one of those things where it was like, if anyone hadn't heard of you guys before and wasn't paying attention to your roster, they certainly were now. And talk to me about playing on a stage. Like, how does it change your mentality compared to playing Rocket League like in your house?
Yeah, it's nuts. There's so much pressure, but I think part of the skill with playing on a stage is just tuning that out, focusing in on the game, and just doing the best that you can.
What did you think of Dreamhack? Was that your first time at a Dreamhack?
Yeah, it was my first time at a LAN. Dreamhack was absolutely phenomenal. I had so much fun. Meeting everybody, seeing all their faces, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was great.
Did you take the time to go and like watch any of the other events or like to tour the booths or anything? What was the best part of Dreamhack outside of Rocket League?
Yeah, I ended up meeting Sean Gares. I got a picture with him, who's a CS:GO pro personality. I met a couple other people from CS. I love that game. Got a picture with Mewtwo King, really good Smash player.
Oh, yeah.
The Dreamhack event is insane. You get to see so many people.
It is really cool that like you get to go, and I remember at a party afterwards, there was so many different professionals that I recognized. I was like, oh, I recognize that guy. Oh, I recognize that guy. It was really, really fun. Yeah. So with this recent success in Rocket League here, and making a name for yourself on this Renegades roster. Obviously, you guys are not going to be playing under that name, but you are now a known factor that people are looking at, and when they talk about the pro scene, how does this change the way you approach Rocket League?
It's become to be less of a hobby and more of something to really consider as an opportunity now. So I've been keeping my head open, or keeping my eyes open, approaching some people for sub spots, some roster spots. We'll see where it goes. But at this point for RLCS, like a lot of teams have already formed. So if there's like not a good enough bubble team, I might just sub for like a top team.
That's really interesting because I know a lot of professionals. We looked at like Turbo Pulsa, who played on Envious, and they were on Northern Gaming at the time. They win the World Championship, and everyone's like, oh, is Turbo going to stick on this World Championship team? You'd want to stick on the World Championship team, right? But he's like, he wants to start. He wants to play, so he leaves and goes and gets on Gale Force. But I'm hearing you express that you are okay. You would almost rather be a sub on a team who's definitely going to make it in versus being a starter on a team that is not as certain. Is that the case?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, you look at Timmy, who was a sub for Selfless at the time. He came out, showed up huge to qualify for league play. You look at Turbo, of course, you mentioned. He showed up huge. And I'm kind of hoping I could do the same thing, If I sub for a big team and I get the chance to play and I can show up huge, then I figure it's a lot easier than playing for maybe a bubble team and possibly not even making league play, so...
Yeah, no, the RLCS is chock full of stories of subs who were called on at an important moment and made a huge name for themselves. So it's cool to see like you thinking kind of the long con of like, I'll be the sub on a team that's definitely in the limelight and get the opportunities that way. And looking at Season 4, give me your thoughts that we're changing up the format a lot. There's this whole rival series thing now. Like thoughts about the relegation system. Is that something you are a fan of?
Yeah, no, I loved hearing the news about that. I mean, only 8 teams make it to league play in previous RLCSs, so if you're not in that group, you're basically out of commission for like a good 3 months or so, 4 months maybe. And now with those 8 to 16 or 9 to 16 teams, that is, they get to keep playing, they get to keep competing and have their names known. So it's a really good opportunity for them, and I'm glad that RLCS is doing it now.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to kind of the whole sub versus starter thing, like if you had the opportunity to start for a rival team versus subbing for an RLCS team, which would you prefer? Which would you go for? Obviously, there's no way for you to know that. You have to go through qualifiers first. But like, which one would be more favorable to you?
I think an sorry.
That's why I'm calling it the rival series. It's a tongue twister for sure.
Yeah. RLRS is it's probably a little better. You get to keep playing. It's good to be a starter. I mean, everybody loves the game. That's why we play it. So I'd probably be on a RLRS team.
Yeah, it's really cool because I think a lot of people could look at that and be like, oh, it's not the RLCS, but like it's going to be just as competitive. It's going to be just as big of a deal. And speaking of RLCS, you haven't gotten to start on an RLCS team up until to yet. People in RLCS that you look up to, who are you the biggest fan of?
I met him this weekend, Marky Dude. He's an absolutely incredible person. He's so welcoming. It's easy to just walk up to him, have a conversation. He's a really nice guy. I like the energy, guys. There's loads of fun to be around. Fire, Jacob, Garrett. I like them quite a bit. I don't know who else. Chrome, Zane, Jackie. Got to give a shout out to them. Love those guys.
Yeah, lots of good attitudes in all of those players. Dude with the Nose, thanks so much for talking to us today. Before I let you go, any shout outs you got for anybody?
Got to give a shout out to Ches, Mike, a couple of my friends, Matt, Dan, Victor. That's about it.
Fantastic. Well, hey, thanks so much, dude, and good luck in the rest of your Rocket League career.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Dude with the Nose, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance they made at the Dreamhack Atlanta performance there under the Renegades name, taking Flipside to 5 games, beating 2 of our big teams. It was quite the exciting time, but for me and for everyone else here at the RLCS at Overtime, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. We'll see you later.